Hello, this is Pat Handy from RapidScale. I'm a cloud support engineer here. Thanks for joining the training. I'm going to give a few minutes for any latecomers to join before we get started. Okay, I'd like to get started now. As I said before, this is Pat Handy, a cloud support engineer at RapidScale, and today's training will be over vCloud Director. Everybody's been muted. If you have any questions, please use the GoToWebinar chat feature, and we'll be able to answer questions at the end. Okay, quick overview of what the vCloud Director is. Basically, it's a portal provided by RapidScale that allows you to manage your VMs in the cloud. Each one of you will be given a link and a username and password to be able to log into the portal. See what that looks like. You will need a browser that has Flash enabled. I'm going to log into our lab here. You will not see these other organizations. Okay, upon logging into the portal, the first view you're going to have on the home screen is your vApps, which are your virtual apps. These are these containers here. I guess I'll go over what a vApp is quickly. A vApp is just a container, like a resource pool. It contains one or more virtual machines. These are treated as a collection. So if the vApp is powered off, it's one thing to be wary of. If you stop the vApp, it's going to shut down all the machines that are in there. And also starting the vApp will start all machines in there. 3 buttons here. Yeah, you have start, suspend, and stop. If we see now that this virtual VM here has been turned off, and I'm going to start the vApp and just power it back on. vApps can have also have a collection of networks that are in common with this virtual machine that are hosted within them. I guess we can go over creating a virtual app now, which is your container here. I'm just going to say build a new vApp. And we can call this whatever we were going to build here, IaaS. The data centers will be available here. You'll have one. The leases you can leave is never expire. In this column, you can add a virtual machine right to the vApp immediately, but I'm going to leave this blank for now. And next, you can also attach an adapter, a network adapter to the vApp. I'm just going to click finish, and we're going to see our new vApp container here. So from our top menu here, I have a home screen, I have the vCloud, and catalogs and administration. Under vCloud, in this view, I can see the vApps that I have. Under VMs, I can see, click on there, and I can see the individual virtual machines I have. So what I like to do now is go into the vApp we just created and create a new virtual machine. I'm actually just going to click the Add VM button instead of importing from vSphere. In the public catalogs, looks like we have 17 virtual machines available. I'm just going to pick Windows Server 2012 R2 Standard. Click Next. I'm going to choose my storage policy. I'll also give it a name here. I'm going to assign it to the one network available for this. Here you can also choose a static IP pool, manual, or DHCP. I'm just going to choose DHCP for now. I can also rename the machine here. And I'm going to click finish, and the virtual machine will spin up here. I can see the VM is started here. So to create a new user for vCloud, say you had another user that you wanted to give access here, from administration tab, you can click on users, and then you can add a colleague here, and then also give them roles. Most of you will be like an organization administrator, but maybe you have a financial person that you only want to give them view access to see, what VMs and they're paying for, right? We'd also like to have the vApps should have a owner here. So this will be somebody in the organization. And we can change that by clicking right here, change owner. Once there's a user in there, we'd be able to specify them as the owner. They could get emails, and also it helps us to identify who owns the vApp. This is the refresh button on the upper right-hand side. We'll click that as we're waiting for this VM to spin up. So I guess while we're waiting for that VM to spin up, I'll also go over administration here. From this administration tab, we click on it, we can see our virtual data centers under cloud resources. I'm going to click on that. Then I'm going to click on this resource to expand it. And now I have my VApp templates, media and other, storage policies, edge gateways, org VDCs, and resource pools. I'm going to click on edge gateway. That's basically our firewall. From here, I can manage my edge gateway by going into edge gateway services. And here we can manage our NAT rules, inbound and outbound, SNAT, source NAT rules, destination NAT rules, in case we wanted to open a web server up to port 80. That's where we would do this at. Also, we would have our firewall rules here. We only have the default outbound rule in place right now. And if you had more advanced networking, we would can route that, do static routes here. This is the VPN tab. Majority of us will have VPNs, IPsec VPNs to their corporate office. Here's where this would be managed or new ones created. If you have any problems with these, you can always contact support. Here we would specify all of our information for our site-to-site VPN tunnel. And here's the pre-shared key and the encryption methods. They're only AES 256, AES, and triple DES. If you need a more advanced firewall, you talk to account management to get a FortiGate ordered. If you want more, this is a good article. If you want more information about, what types of tunnels you can set up with the IPsec VPN, with the edge gateway, we can send this article to you. Some of you may not see a firewall here, and if you're a previous Vonage customer, that's because we backhauled everything through the Vonage network. So if you do not see an edge gateway here, the other reason is if you have a FortiGate, a more robust firewall, you won't see an edge gateway here. Let's go back to our VM here, see if it's spun up yet. Yeah. So I can see the VApp itself is stopped. So I'm going to click here to power it on. I'm going to click the VM to, well, it's saying I have to power it on first. 1 second. I'm now going to click the VM to drill down into the console of it. And we can see that Windows is booting here. It's going to reboot one more time. And it's ready. Another common thing that comes up is changing resources. Some of the resources you'll be able to do on the fly. If we go into the VApp, click on the virtual machine. Here I can go to hardware. CPU and memory right now are not hot add, although you can increase disk space. That is hot add here. To increase CPU and memory, we'll power the machine off. Here's the 10 gigs I just added. I'm going to expand this. Now I'm going to power the machine off and add some memory. Okay, now when I click on the machine, you'll see when I go to hardware, we will be able to change number of virtual CPUs and the total memory here. I'm going to power on the machine again to interact with it. And we can see there's the 4 gig of RAM we added. And now it's a single CPU. Okay, real quick, I just want to go over snapshots, what they are. Before you make a major change, you'll want to take a snapshot of that VM. I think there's a great analogy for VM snapshots. It's like a coffee table. Your hard drive disk is like a coffee table. And when you take that snapshot, you're just taking that coffee table. Anything else that gets written to that disk is like a magazine or something sitting on top of that coffee table. Now you can roll back in time to that coffee table, but you don't want to run on that snapshot for too long, because what happens if it's a glass coffee table? The whole thing collapses. So usually I take a snapshot, make our changes, wait a day or so, and then remove or delete that snapshot. And that's just done right here through Create Snapshots. Once a snapshot's created, if something happened where we didn't want to make that change, we can revert to snapshot, which will revert back to the point in time where that snapshot was taken. If the change is fine, and after 24-hour period, we just want to remove that snapshot here. Support also gets an alert if a snapshot has grown in size, just because, like I said, with the coffee table analogy, you don't want to run on that Delta disk for too long. It's going to cause some problems. It will probably alert you and ask to delete it. So from the VM as well, I can power on the VM, suspend it. Also, if it wasn't responding, I can send a Control-Delete here. I can make it full screen, and then I can have it fit the screen. Basically, if it wasn't responding, I can hard power it off here by hitting the stop button. And if the VM is no longer needed, we can remove it as well. And I think that pretty much covers everything I wanted to cover here with vCloud Director. We have any questions in chat?
Let's see. Looks like no questions have come in, but if anyone on the call does have a question, feel free to right now use that questions panel on the GoToWebinar taskbar, and we can just give it a little bit and see if any come in, Pat.
Okay. I know we went over it pretty quickly, but it's pretty straightforward. And then any questions we can send to support.
Yeah, and just so everyone on the line knows, this session was recorded, so we can send it out to everyone who joined following the training. Yeah, it looks like no questions are coming in, Pat, so I think we're good to go.
Okay, great. Thanks. Have a great day.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.